How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, yesterday was quite epic and eye-opening for the royal family. Because the stuff that I dug up, I had said that I don't think anybody else would report this. And I just got tired also of reporting what I see on mainstream. Y'all can go get that. I wanted to get deep and locally. And I have even more to present to the royal family based off the last video and the reaction of the commissioners, pretty much. Because there's a lot of these players in this that I'm going to present. I do have a bonus segment that y'all not going to be happy about. You may not even like what I may say, but I often say I must keep it core, and wherever the story lands, it lands where it lands. It may be what we want or not want. I'm just going to keep it core. And I vowed and made a promise to the royal family after the Amber Geiger trial, because I was emotionally invested in it, that I felt like I had did the royal family a disservice. I have often been told, even when I was a child, that I was wise, and it made me very uncomfortable. It really did. And as I get older, I think I have developed some wisdom. But when people put these labels on you and you stumble and fall, you know, they vicariously live through you. So I'm going to use my gifts to the fullest. And so I'm not approaching this case like I'm approaching it with the Botham Jean situation. I'm keeping my emotions out of it because I'm watching all these players in this chess game, and it's going the way that I think it may go. And we'll get there when we get to the bonus segment. So we have here this lion as DA, and Mud is slinging back and forth. And what I'm going to read to the royal family, this bitch is running really, really scared. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to read this article. And it's more of a reactionary, again, based on what the commissioners have said about her. So let's see here. Is this the first one? Okay. Don't forget, this is Commissioner Alan Booker. And this commissioner is Peter Murphy. Keep that on your frontal lobe. I want to keep this over here to show what she really is. So let me get this set up here. So this article, where does this article come from? They call it the WABE. Okay, that's what they call it. So, in Mr. Arbery's case, Brunswick District Attorney challenges Glenn County Commissioner's statement. Let me open this up a little bit. Okay, my royal family. So, Brunswick District Attorney Jackie Johnson, the first to recuse herself from Mr. Arbery's outright murder. I'm adding that my damn self. Some stuff I'm going to read it the way I want. Has sent a cease and desist letter to 2 Glenn County commissioners who said that district attorney officials advised Glenn County law enforcement not to arrest anyone on the day of Arbery's killing. These commissioners said members of her office did offer that advice. And remember, she was running her damn mouth the other day. Gregory Michaels and his son Travis were arrested by the Georgia Bureau of Investigations for the killing within days of the state agency being called in to work on the case. Gregory Michaels had recently retired as an investigator in Johnson's office, and we know all about that this dude, since 2006, she been dealing with his affairs for the longest, because he wanted him type a wannabe cop. He technically wasn't a cop. He didn't have a badge. He couldn't pass certain, I know he couldn't pass certain, because they take physical tests, they take mental tests. They want to see if you can fill out a damn police report and all of that. He was incompetent, and her dusty ass kept him covered for years. So, and let's not lose sight that he had her direct number on speed dial. So when he fuck up, he run to her, because trust and believe, other stuff is going to come out that's going to relate them to, and they are checking phone records. Now, let me finish this. So, oh yeah, here it is. Glenn County Commissioner Peter Murphy said he's been told by police department that assistant district attorney in Johnson's office advised the officers responding on the day of Arbery's killing in February that there was no need to arrest the McMichaels that day because they were not considered a flight risk. Johnson said Monday on the Just Up radio station WIFO or Billy Bob Show or whatever they call it. They got all kind of names for it over there. It's just a hick station. That no advice from her office was given to law enforcement. That's not true. I got two attorneys. I trust them. It would not have been their duty or their obligations or their job to tell them one way or the other whether or not to make an arrest. Johnson formally asked the Attorney General to be recused from the case later that week because of the McMichaels' experience in her office. The second prosecutor, George Burnhill, told officers he didn't think there was a need for any arrests the day after the killing before being formally assigned to the case by the Attorney General. A fourth district attorney took on the case this week, and we already know she ain't nothing but a damn Kundalet hand-picked. So let's keep in mind that her ass, because she's the top dog, played in pussy with this family for 47 days. 47 days, which adds up to 11. The number 11 in the word means chaos, disorder, and judgment. As we continue on, Glenn County Commissioner Alan Booker, which is the brother, spoke about the case on Atlanta radio station WAOK on Monday. The protocol is to follow the district attorney lead by the police because they're the ones that have to get the conviction, he said. If the police arrest people and then they're not charged with anything, then it looks like they're just arresting people for nothing. So they have to work with the DA's office. Her office, and I believe she herself was involved from the very beginning. Everybody's been saying the same thing consistently about her rotten ass. A Glenn County Police Department spokesman forwarded all inquiries to the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, which declined to comment on Mr. Arbery's case as it remains on open investigation. That's I wonder why everybody running their mouth on this. They nervous. So, Johnson's lawyer, Jim Stein, sent a letter. Now she got a lawyer now. Peep the game, my royal family. She didn't got a gang. She got a lawyer now, cause she's concerned. She thought she could just do all that double talking and all that shit she was talking, but she really hung her damn self. So her lawyer sent a letter to a Glenn County attorney Tuesday, arguing that Murphy and Booker, the two commissioners that I showed you, statements amount to libel, amount to label and slander. When clients are put on notice that they should immediately cease and desist from making any statements that Jackie Johnson and or anyone associate with the Brunswick Judicial Circuit District Attorney Office advise any law enforcement officials that no arrest should be made in this investigating pertaining to Mr. Arbery. Stein asks that the reaction be made, the dedaction. Oh shit, I'm tongue tied. Y'all know what I'm saying. Be made. I'm just reporting that the police told me, Mr. Murphy, I have no reason not to believe them. If she wants to sue me for that, I guess there's nothing I can do about it. You hear what I said? Now Murphy, the white boy, said, again, Murphy said, I have no reason not to believe them. If she wants to sue me for that, I guess there's nothing I can do about it. Now she want to sue somebody. It angers me that the police were being made to be the scapegoat in this situation, he said. We had some terrible problems in our police department, but they were attributed to and have been attributed to some really, really bad individuals. But I think the vast majority of our officers are really good people who work hard. Yeah, whatever. So now she got a lawyer. Peep game. She got a lawyer. She is vastly concerned. And I had said on that video that I had put up yesterday, you, the DA, you supposed to have this high ass IQ. You got 5 districts that you reign over, and then you just go to some old hick ass radio station and think you just gonna run your mouth and that's just gonna value everything, and you thinking people stupid enough not to even listen to that, they gonna use that shit against you. And you say you ain't worried about nothing, you just want the truth to come out and stuff, but you concerned about the lies. No, you concerned about all of it. You concerned about all the lies that you told and all of that. You didn't hung yourself, and people are saying the same thing consistently. So what I read in here was like, oh, it ain't no need to arrest them. There ain't no flight risk at all. You know, it ain't no big deal. They didn't give a damn. And then remember, as she's making a point that not to get them arrested, the family and the clergy is coming to them, and she, these people are rotten, looking dead in his mama's eyes, dead in his father's eyes, and not saying nothing. Just, moving paper, word salad, and all of that. They had no intent. They had no intent at all to arrest them. Business as usual in Esau's world. That's why your kingdom is falling before your fucking eyes. So, as I continue on, let's get into this first video. Now, this video that I'm playing, some people may have seen it, but sometimes I like to go a little bit back so we can pick up nuggets and then bring it forth. So this was published on May 8th, and we're going to hear what the first commissioner, Peter Murphy, have to say.
Just 36 hours after state investigators got the case, they were able to file charges. This morning, they said that they were able to quickly establish sufficient probable cause to seek arrest warrants for the McMichaels. News4JAX I-Team investigator Kelly Wiley has obtained the arrest warrants and has details about what's on paper. Kelly?
Well, Tarek, this case has sparked outrage. I'm going to step aside and just show you the people who are still out here in the neighborhood guarding over the vigil. These are some of the folks that were out here this morning at 10 a.m. at the demonstration in front of the courthouse. This case has not just sparked outrage for the people seen in the video, but also for the law enforcement officials who some say failed to act before this video was released. 36 hours after this video of father and son confronting and fatally shooting Ahmaud Arbery went viral, and state investigators with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation arrested and charged both with aggravated assault and felony murder.
Came up pretty quickly with a solid belief that there's sufficient probable cause to charge the McMichaels with felony murder and aggravated assault. I can tell you that if we didn't believe it, we wouldn't have arrested him.
Arrest warrants state Travis McMichael pointed and discharged a shotgun at Ahmaud Arbery, and that his father, a retired investigator with the Brunswick County District Attorney's Office, aided and abetted his son.
This was a murder. This was not a stand your ground defending against, defense against yourself. These people got into a car and chased him down and killed him.
Today, the two faced a judge in the same courthouse where hundreds gathered outside demanding answers and resignations from law enforcement involved in the case, including the district attorney for the area and the sheriff. Glenn County Commissioner Peter Murphy says investigators with Glenn County Sheriff's Office were told by District Attorney Jackie Johnson's office to not arrest the McMichaels following the deadly shooting, and that after she recused herself, the next district attorney assigned to the case, George Barnhill, also advised investigators not to arrest the McMichaels. In the letter where Barnhill recuses himself, the autopsy supports the initial opinion we gave you on February 24th at the briefing room in the Glenn County Police Department after reviewing the evidence you had at the time. We do not see grounds for an arrest of any of the three parties.
I don't see how they expect the police to go cuff these men up when they've been told directly on Sunday and on Monday by the district attorney's offices not to arrest anybody.
We asked if the GBI planned to investigate the way Glenn County Sheriff's Office conducted the case. Director Reynolds says his investigators would go where the facts led them.
The only way I can answer that is to tell you that anything that's relevant to the murder investigation we're doing, we will look at.
And in the last half hour, we got a statement from the Brunswick District Attorney. She was the first attorney to recuse herself from this case. Gregory McMichael worked as an investigator in her office. This is what it says in part. Commissioners Murphy and Booker have chosen to make false accusations against District Attorney Jackie Johnson in an attempt to make excuses and ignore the problems at the Glenn County Police Department, for which they are ultimately responsible. Acting Police Chief Jay Wiggins has indicated that it was a mistake that then Police Chief John Powell did not immediately call in the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to investigate the death of Ahmaud Arbery. Her spokesperson also said at no time on February 23rd, 2020, did District Attorney Jackie Johnson have any conversation with any Glenn County police officer about this case. And they said further, no assistant DA in the office directed any Glenn County police officer to not make an arrest.
More lies. Lie after lie after lie. Boy, this is shameful. I see that I had made a mistake. The commissioner, where is he? Is it this one? No. The other commissioner. That's the wrong one. So let me make sure I pick up the right picture. Okay, the right picture. That is Commissioner. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Popping up. I have to spell it all the way through. Let me get it right. That was Peter. Oops. Damn, I got everything on capital. Excuse me. Peter, I think is Murphy, M-U-R, I think it's P-H-Y. I hope I got that right. Yeah. Okay, let's get over here. Okay, I had him wrong. There he is right here. This is the one right here. That other guy, I think his name was Vic something. But anyway, I wanted to make sure I get that right. Not this one. We're going to take that one down. And as we continue on. So now I got, that's, again, Commissioner Peter Murphy. And we already heard his statement. So now I'm going to play this audio from NPR. This is really deep to listen to. And I mean, they slinging it too. I know she ain't getting no kind of rest.
As the Georgia Bureau of Investigation takes over the controversial shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery, questions remain about the initial response by the Gwynn County Police. In particular, why were there no arrests for months in the Black Jogger's killing? Emily Green of member station WABE reports that the police department's past is awash in problems.
Long before Ahmaud Arbery was shot while out running, the Glynn County Police Department had a tangled history of corruption and scandals. Paige Pate is an attorney in Glynn County.
There's not just one prior case, there are many prior cases, and each one is a separate, Netflix episode.
Here's a snapshot. In 2018, a Glynn County police officer murdered his estranged wife and her friend. The wife's family is now suing the police department because they say authorities failed to intervene before the murders. That same year, the department lost its certification with the state. The reason? It wasn't following proper protocols. In 2019, the county's drug task force was disbanded. A state-led investigation found extensive misconduct by Glynn County police officers. That included sex with a confidential informant. And then things got worse.
New tonight, 2 Georgia police chiefs and 2 officers turned themselves in after being indicted. The officers are facing more than a dozen charges, all stemming from an investigation into their dissolved narcotics team.
That's from TV station WJXT in March. Glynn County Police Chief John Powell was indicted for perjury and witness tampering 4 days after the Arbery shooting. The police chief remains on administrative leave.
We have a history of protecting our own within the legal system. That applies across the board to Glynn County law enforcement with covering up misdeeds or looking the other way.
That's the assessment of Newell Hamilton Jr., a criminal defense attorney in Glynn County. And he says that's also true for the Arbery shooting. There's no dispute a former Glynn police officer and his son were involved in his death, and that the son shot Arbery. County commissioners are defending the police department. They blame the local district attorney's office for the decision not to arrest the father and son. The father had also worked for the DA. Here's Commissioner Peter Murphy talking to WJXT.
I don't see how they expect the police to go cuff these men up when they've been told directly on Sunday and on Monday by the district attorney's offices not to arrest anybody.
But District Attorney Jackie Johnson says neither she nor her office advised the police on whether or not to make an arrest. She appeared Monday on radio station WIFO.
That's so far from the truth. It's just a straight up lie.
Johnson says the police and the county commission want to smear her.
I think it's retaliation for me being the whistleblower on their police department multiple times over the last year.
But Ahmaud Arbery's family says Johnson's decision to recuse herself from the case before an arrest was a cop-out. The Glynn County Police Department declined to answer questions for this story. Arbery's mom, Wanda Cooper Jones, vividly remembers what police told her the day her son died, that he had been involved in a burglary and the homeowner confronted him.
I didn't question that at that time because the way that I lived is if authority and they came and told you anything, you didn't question that because that was authority and they were put in place to be trusted.
There is no evidence to suggest Arbery robbed anyone. Meanwhile, the Georgia Attorney General has asked federal officials to investigate how the case was handled. For NPR News, I'm Emily Green.
All right,
in
my
Atlanta.
radio family, let's take that down completely. So, it still keeps leading back to her lying ass. So, the police officers that was there when everything was still active, they haven't, they got them buried somewhere, and they gonna hang her ass because commissioner, this brother here, this commissioner here, he said yesterday, he talked to her directly and said, you know, why they wasn't arrested, and she wouldn't answer the question at all. You know, there's a reason why they sat at home for 74 days. There's a reason for that. Somebody played a part in that they were untouchable. And we know who it leads back to. See, the issue with the white woman, remember, we say this constantly. She is the first teacher. She is the one that wants to continue to uphold this shit. And you remember what I said, my royal family, when I keep repeating myself. I know sometimes it get redundant, some of the things that I say, but when our Father told me what he told me, when I got that vision, he said the white woman would be the first to get my wrath. And that does not exclude the white man for upholding her shit. Check the play. Now we watching a kingdom fall. I've been saying there's a crack in their system. In my construction knowledge, even though I'm a welder, I know about concrete real well. And if that foundation ain't laid right, once it's cracked and it starts bleeding, eventually it will give. And that is what we are watching. And it is quite sweet and juicy. Oh, yes. So, now, we're going to get into some things that I said, a concern that I have, and I see it clear as day. And like I said, there's many moving parts. So now I am on to the bonus segment, really. So, another commissioner. No, not a commissioner, excuse me. Councilman. So, where's that councilman? So we have this smooth-faced councilman, what do they call him? Antonio Brown. Okay? Now, Antonio Brown has attached himself to the Arbery's. And this is nothing mere to build up his political career, because I know he don't want to be councilman for long. And I had said the other day that they are working on the family where they're going to get them to the state where they're going to say, I forgive you. They working on that. Trust and believe. And just to let folks know, before I continue on with his slick ass, they call him Eye Candy, the youngest and the first openly bisexual councilman. So I'm just letting you know who he is. All right. So I'm gonna play this audio, and then I got a video. Wow, that's all I can say about this one. I mean, fucking wow. So here we go.
What's happening? Welcome back. You're still getting real with the realest man on radio. Yesterday, a group of elected officials led by Councilman Antonio Brown traveled to Brunswick, Georgia. Councilman Antonio Brown, one of the most remarkable public servants you will ever meet, coordinated with his team and created a resolution. The city of Atlanta gave a proclamation to the Ahmaud Arbery family in honor of his birthday. Now remember, he would have turned 26 just a few days ago. Joining Councilman Antonio Brown on that trip, that historic trip, was Georgia State Representative Erica Thomas and others as well. They partnered with A National Limousine and Local Greens to shuttle state lawmakers and Councilman Brown to Brunswick, Georgia. There was a press conference in Brunswick held by the very respected State Representative Al Williams. Al Williams, who's one of the greatest orators you will ever hear, gave words of encouragement and talked about legislative solutions. According to Councilman Brown, the city of Atlanta stands united with the city of Brunswick. Councilman Brown presented the family with a city proclamation declaring May 8th to be a citywide day of remembrance for Ahmaud Arbery. May 8th would have been the day he turned 26. Okay, according to the reports that I've received, when Councilman Brown and Erica Thomas, Representative Erica Thomas, made this proclamation, gave it over to the family was so emotional. They were so emotional during this exchange. And you can see in the pictures, and I do have a few of those pictures, I will share them on social media. You can see in these pictures the despair and the hope all at the same time. The emotion, the gratefulness combined with the uncertainty, all coexisting in the same room. I want to say big ups to Councilman Brown, Representative Erica Thomas, and others who decided that it was not beneath them to make such a bold and public statement and stance officially as government entities, as government officials, to stand up to provide exacting leadership, not to hide behind an ongoing investigation or anything like that, but to come out boldly and say, this is right and this is wrong. And here's where we stand on that. We need more elected officials like that because leadership matters. Leadership matters. And so many times we have been in this situation before where obviously an injustice has taken place, but elected officials, and many times black elected officials, refuse to get involved because they have to protect their reputation. So I'm proud of these young lawmakers. I'm proud of these new class lawmakers standing up for what they believe in. You see, if they didn't have these jobs in politics, they would stand up anyway. So why allow a job that gives you more advocacy opportunity? Why allow that job to be diluted? God gave you that position so that you could do even more of what you did beforehand. And they're doing it. Big ups to them. Okay, Wealth Wednesdays.
I know my royal family. I know my royal family. I'm going to hold thy tongue because I have plenty to say. I have plenty to say. When I listened to that earlier, I said, this is bullshit. Bullshit. They ignored that family for 74 days. And now they showering them with what I call a bric-a-brac. Something of little or no value. How is that addressing the bigger fucking picture in the charades and the games that continues to be played on this family? See, there's a way of doing things, and they have found a way to penetrate the family. And I have some concerns. So let me get over here to make sure I get the right picture. Okay. Mr. Arbery and Senior Arbery. I'm concerned because I've been listening real close to what Mr. Arbery has been saying, the father, and his uncle. And I think Pops might have a bit of a drinking problem. And he's not a good representation on what's going on. But that's that fuckery that Lee likes. Okay, we ain't gonna leave out their attorney. You know, we got Crump and them. They act like they the only attorneys when some shit happen to black folks. Because you have to assess the family real close. And when you get a lawyer, you don't talk. They are your voice. And see, they like to throw that mic up in your face and throw that mic up in your face. And eventually one of them going to say, do you forgive the savages that slaughtered your royal son? So what I'm going to present, because of my concerns, I'm not putting this man down at all. But I got to keep it core. We all got to keep it core. There's a way of doing it. And I'll tell y'all, because I've said it before. So let's listen to this video. This is in relations to what you just heard on that radio show.
A neighborhood. We have two important angles for you today at 5. Channel 2's Matt Johnson.
Let me get this.
His live story, the shooting death of a Georgia man as he went for a run through a neighborhood. We have two important angles for you today at 5. Channel 2's Matt Johnson is live where a planned protest caravan will leave from Atlanta. But we start with Channel 2's Tom Jones this afternoon, live in Glenn County. He spoke to Ahmaud Arbery's family about how he will be recognized here in Atlanta. Tom.
El Javita, Atlanta City Councilman Antonio Brown told me every year on May 8th, it will be Ahmaud Arbery Day in the city of Atlanta. He was here in Brunswick where he handed the family a proclamation celebrating Ahmaud's life.
We love it. We love it.
It's great. It's great. It's a great feeling, man.
Ahmaud Arbery's family was on top of the world after getting this very special honor. His proclamation declares May 8th as Ahmaud Arbery Day in the city of Atlanta. May 8th is his birthday. How does it feel to get this?
Great, because I know he was a great kid, great young man. He just wanted to run.
The Arbery say the 25-year-old running enthusiast went for a jog in the Satilla Shores neighborhood in February. Gregory and Travis McMichael now face murder charges after police say they shot him. Officers say they suspected Ahmaud burglarized his home under construction. Atlanta City Councilman Antonio Brown spearheaded the effort to give Ahmaud his own day in the city. He was in Brunswick to hand the proclamation to his family.
They were crying when they received the proclamation. It was just an incredible experience.
He says some people question why give Ahmaud a day in his honor.
I thought it was pretty much a no-brainer. You know, I thought it was one of those situations where this makes sense.
Brown said it's important for the council to show it stands united with Brunswick and lift up Ahmaud's life. Ahmaud's family appreciated all the love and support.
Let us know that we got people out here fighting for us, man.
And Councilman Brown also urged people to get behind the effort to get hate crime legislation passed in the state. We're live in Glenn County in Brunswick. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
That ain't solving shit. They put his name on some little placard. And what the fuck do that have to do with anything? That's what pisses me off. So what they're doing is monitoring the family's pulse, checking out the players in this chess game. I would prefer that this family continue to stay isolated. Nobody don't want to have shit to do with them. Now everybody all up in their face. You know? That's really, truly fattening you up for the kill. Giving them that bullshit was insulting them further. Because behind the scenes, they setting up, trying their best to get them two hicks bailed out. That wasn't a definite thing. They got to get the right judge to do all that part while they got their KK fund all being built up, their defense fund and all of that for them. You know, then you got the commissioners with her greasy ass doing her dirt, and nobody's hands is clean in the situation. Then you got this dude who I question where his ass is at. His ass is funny style and bisexual because his mind is fucked up. And anybody got anything to say about what I'm saying right now, fuck you. I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say on my channel because I'm real pissed with this shit. And I'm tired of black folks allowing themselves to be played. If we don't know, we'll never know. You will never know. The family shouldn't be talking at all. They didn't want to talk to you before. Now everybody doing some old symbolic shit. So what I've learned covering a lot of this, you got to watch the family because you don't know what they own. Because when people start sliding you money, it sways your thinking and all of that. It literally do. Because trust and believe. One of them, because like Don Lemon, he famous for it. They can do the most vile, foul shit to us, and then he gonna be like, "Do you forgive him?" He pulled that shit last night. They have a case, I know some of y'all know about it, where these white folks, and one of them was a guard, bum rushed into these black folks' house, pointing guns and stuff. It was just a mother and son, teenage son, and then Don Lemon had the nerve. Because the family was they were saying, the white family was saying, we want to talk to the black family privately. We not racist. And he gonna look right at the mother and say, oh, would you do that? Basically, would you be willing to be with them and forgive them? That's pretty much what he was saying. And that sister was like, y'all done damn near kicked my door down, got guns all up in my son's face and everything. And then you want to sit up there, I'm not racist and we can talk privately. Oh, no. Them forgiving days is done. And when we catch any of our own on that and we supporting them, leave them the fuck alone. Straight up. It pissed me off. I'm hot about this shit. We have to set up things in a proper way. Remember that brother that got shot in the back? Okay, they had a lawyer, the mother, big time Christian, walking around with a big ass picture, talking about bejesus and all that stuff to them people, and she becomes a form of entertainment, busting out singing spiritual hymns and shit like that. And I could tell that the men in the family was scared of her. Pops didn't say shit. He just crouching back there. The sons is all quiet and stuff like that. No, we don't need any of the women speaking when one of her babies then got slaughtered. She's emotional. She's feeling things. That's what she's supposed to feel. But don't let them put you out there, my sister, on the world stage so they can make a caricature of you. So they softening them up. They fattening them up and everything. You know, everybody trying to clean their ass. People going to be, like I said, they're going to be resigning and all of that. Because this shit is messy. Messy. It exposed even further things. And then you got this damn demon. She claimed she clueless, you know. What the fuck? Why you DA? Now you don't know shit. You don't know the law or anything, bitch. You was the very one that told them two cops that they are hiding that don't arrest them, don't touch them. They ain't a flight risk. 74 days. Again, adds up to 11. Chaos, disorder, and judgment. So, I need to get my ass up off of here because I'm heated when the enemy and the enemy supporters insult the royal family like we don't have a clue. You're not progressive like that. You're not sharp like that. Fuck your degrees. Fuck all of y'all. So, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love and I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe. Mm-mm-mm.